Okay. The first Industrial Revolution began in the late 18th century in Britain, and it later spread to other parts of Europe like France, Belgium, Germany, and eventually the United States. England was also the dominant power in maritime trade during this 18th century, and after a series of wars with the Dutch, which we'll talk about in later videos, Great Britain went on to win victories against the French in the War of the Spanish Succession and the 7 Years' War in North America. The success of Britain in these wars helped to build its vast network for trade, and their colonies provided yet another outlet for trade. And of course, with all the things we talked about in the last video, the factors of production, the stage was set for the Industrial Revolution, and it occurred in two different phases. First, you have the textile industry and mechanization of the textile industry. This was Britain's chief industry. They had long been in search of newer and cheaper ways to make cotton. And then in 1733, we had the fly shuttle invented by John Kay, and it was able to weave thread together better than a one-person loom. The fly shuttle cut in half the cost of labor. And then in 1753, weavers sacked Kay's house in protest. I mean, they were so mad about this because they were losing their jobs to machines. In 1760, James Hargreaves invented the spinning jenny, and this was a device named for his wife. It could spin 8 spindles of thread at once, and later was expanded to 16 spindles. And that's what this is right here. It was the first machine to improve on the spinning wheel. And then you just had one invention after another. The water frame was invented. And then eventually you have the factory system arise. The first factories were very small in comparison to modern factories. In the early 18th century, most manufacturing was done in homes in the countryside, and the system of sending out raw materials and farming out manufacturing work to country homes was known as cottage industry. But with the inventions of the spinning jenny and other devices, especially like the power loom and the cotton gin, we helped fuel the growth of the factories. So these new inventions, these muscle-powered wood and iron machines, were a hit with manufacturers because they cranked out cloth faster and cheaper than hand-making methods. Bigger and quicker machines were developed, and they eventually turned into factories. Now, the steam engine. By the 1760s, inventors in Great Britain had developed the steam engine, and you have a little diagram down there showing you what the steam engine actually was. It was arguably the most revolutionary inventions of all time, and it made water power obsolete. With the development of the steam engine, factories didn't have to be next to a stream. They could be anywhere, which meant that they could start popping up all over the place, and that's industrializing your entire country rather than just cities near rivers. When people began connecting cloth and thread making machines to steam engines, this increased production many times beyond what humans could do, and mass production of goods made these machine-made clothing affordable to just about everyone in European society. The steam engine also transformed the iron industry in Britain, and the production of coal rose dramatically. It created a revolution in transportation when it was applied to the steamboat and the steam-powered locomotive, which we're going to talk about more later. Sorry, I was trying to look, but yes, the cotton gin was powered by steam as well, and it operated many times faster than a human when it was hooked up to the steam engine. The cotton gin, little side note, the cotton gin was a machine that took seeds out of cotton to prepare it for thread and cloth manufacturing. So the cotton gin being invented and then hooked up to a steam engine completely revolutionized the United States crop system and the slave system that we had going, and we'll talk about that in just a second.